Imagine a knight with a sword. A long sword, to be more specific. How does he hold it? That might sound like a stupid question, but it actually is not. GURPS, being a very detailed system, provides different grip variants that have different effects. Let's explore the options in this video. First, we have the one-handed grip. A long sword held this way uses the broadsword skill. This is probably what most players use all the time. This is normal, there is not much to talk about. Second, the longsword can be held in two hands. This is the two-handed grip. A longsword held this way uses the two-handed sword skill. This way your strength requirement is lower and your thrusting damage is higher. I guess this is something normal too. GURPS Martial Arts introduces new ways to grip weapons, including swords. You might want to use a defensive grip, where you move one hand forward to choke the weapon. When held this way, the sword is considered a two-handed weapon. You get a bonus to parry frontal attacks and an additional penalty to parry side attacks. Your swung attacks become weaker and more limited, and the weapon itself is less likely to break. In addition, this grip allows you to use armed grapple. Swords have another defensive grip, where you place a hand just behind the tip. This works like the normal defensive grip, but your reach drops to C, that's close combat only, and damage becomes thrust impaling or crushing. Swung attacks become impossible, but superior point control removes -2 from the penalty to target chinks in armor. GURPS Martial Arts has another grip, the reversed grip, also known as the ice pick grip. When used this way, the sword's reach drops, swinging attacks become weaker, parries become worse, but thrusting attacks get a damage bonus. But wait a second, the book does not say anything about limiting it to one-handed weapons, so you can use a two-handed reverse grip to have an even higher thrusting damage bonus, and to look even cooler in the eyes of your fellow swordsmen. Use this grip if you didn't like Excalibur and would like to put it back into the stone it came from, or the lady in the lake, whatever floats your boat. GURPS Martial Arts doesn't stop there. If you really want to, you can grip the sword by the blade to bludgeon enemies with a pommel or hook them with a crosspiece. A sword wielded this way uses the axe mace skill and becomes unbalanced. The book doesn't say anything about damage and skill penalties, but I suggest finding a mace of a similar weight and using that one. And I'd probably give this use a -2 or -1 to skill. As I said before, the longsword can be used in two hands, so even this grip gets another variant. It will work identically, but we will use the two-handed axe mace skill. Even if you grip the sword by the blade, you can still use defensive grip. As far as I know, that's how it was used historically in this way. That is it for rules as written, but you know what? The book doesn't explicitly say that these grips cannot be combined. For example, why wouldn't you be able to use reversed defensive grip? I have zero experience with wielding swords, but it does seem to me that this grip is possible. Your parries will still suck, but they will suck less than if you were using the normal reversed grip. Your swinging attacks will be awful, and I wouldn't permit attacking your rear hexes, unless you're some octopus monster that holds the sword this way behind the back. Even the second defensive grip with precision point control seems to be compatible with reversed grip. It would be even better at dealing damage through chinks in armor. But wait a second. Even if you grip the sword by the blade, it's still a sword, right? This means that you can use the second defensive grip that way too. Sure, you won't be able to target chinks in armor, because it's a crushing attack, unless you have something like a pommel spike, but you would be able to use your sword as a pull cue. Technically, you cannot use reversed grip when holding the sword by the blade, but if you had the aforementioned pommel spike, then you would gain a thrust attack and hence the ability to use this grip. However, GURPS Low-Tech Companion 2 doesn't seem to allow spikes on sword hilts, but why not? then you would get 4 extra grip variants: reversed grip by the blade, two-handed reverse grip by the blade, defensive reverse grip by the blade, and the second defensive reverse grip by the blade. So now we have an answer. If you are willing to stretch the rules a bit, you might have 16 different ways to hold a longsword. Sure, some of them might be dumb, but this video wasn't intended to be a serious one. But you know, I never even thought about combining defensive grip and reverse grip before making this video, and I think that I will allow it in my games. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.